For 80 years the land of Egypt trembled. The Nile ran with stories of war, betrayal, and divine rivalry. Set, the god of chaos and desert storms, and Horus, the falcon-headed protector of kingship, fought endlessly for the throne of Egypt. Every battle, every strike, every curse was recorded in the sacred texts, etched in papyrus, and whispered across generations. This is not just a war. This is the story of gods, of power, of vengeance. Of the 80-year battle that shaped Egypt. The conflict's origins lie in an act of profound betrayal. Osiris, the wise and benevolent god-king of Egypt, ruled over a golden age of peace and prosperity. But his brother, Set, the lord of the harsh desert, grew consumed by envy. Where Osiris brought order, Set craved chaos. His jealousy festered until it erupted into violence. In a treacherous act, Set murdered his own brother, dismembered his body, and scattered the pieces across the land, usurping the throne and plunging Egypt into an era of uncertainty. But from this darkness, a hero would rise. Horus, the son of Osiris and his devoted wife Isis, was born into a world of conflict. He was destined to avenge his father, reclaim the throne, and restore balance to the divine and mortal realms. The gods of Egypt were not distant, passive observers in this drama. They were active participants, their loyalties and decisions shaping the very fabric of the conflict. The divine assembly, known as the Ennead, was a court of gods where the fate of the kingdom was debated. Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom and writing, acted as a scribe and mediator, his judgments carrying immense weight. Isis, a powerful magician and the embodiment of motherhood and protection, used her cunning and her spells to safeguard her son Horus and thwart Set's schemes. Anubis, the jackal-headed guide of souls, oversaw the rites of the dead, a constant reminder of the mortality that even gods could face. And watching over all from his solar bark was Ra, the supreme sun god, the ultimate arbiter whose final word could end the war. Their councils were political battlegrounds, where every alliance and argument shifted the delicate balance between the forces of order and chaos. The first clashes between Horus and Set were earth-shattering. Their conflict was not confined to the heavens. It spilled across the mortal realm, turning the fertile Nile Delta into a divine battlefield. Villages and cities trembled as desert storms, summoned by Set, tore through the landscape, while Horus, in his falcon form, soared above, a symbol of righteous fury. The battles were not just physical contests of strength. They were contests of magic, strategy, and psychological warfare. Each strike, each incantation, carried the weight of eternity. Ancient papyri, like the Chester Beatty Papyrus, chronicle these epic confrontations in vivid detail. They describe Horus striking his uncle with the precision of a hunting falcon, his divine light piercing the darkness. In turn, they tell of Set's raw power, wielding sandstorms and transforming into fearsome beasts like serpents and crocodiles, at one point described as swallowing Horus whole in a storm of sand and fury. These battles would last for days, often ending in a stalemate, with neither god able to claim a decisive victory. Each encounter left scars on the land and in the heavens, a testament to the ferocity of their struggle for the throne. This was not a war of days or months, but of decades. 80 long years the conflict raged, a span that saw generations of mortals born and die under the shadow of the gods' feud. The pharaohs of Egypt, seen as the earthly embodiment of Horus, keenly interpreted the signs and omens around them. The flight of a falcon, the sudden appearance of a crocodile, the ferocity of a desert storm, all were seen as messages from the battling deities. These sacred animals became living symbols of the war, carrying the hopes and fears of the people. This was no ordinary war. It was a cosmic struggle that defined the divine hierarchy and, in doing so, shaped the destiny of all Egypt. At its core, the war between Horus and Set was a grand allegory. It was the physical manifestation of a core principle in the ancient Egyptian worldview, the eternal conflict between order and chaos. Or Mat and Isfet. Horus represented Mat, divine kingship, cosmic order, justice, and the protection of civilization. He was the sky, the light, the rightful heir. Set, on the other hand, embodied Isfet chaos, the untamable violence of nature, rebellion, and the foreign desert lands beyond Egypt's borders. Every battle was a symbolic reenactment of this fundamental struggle, a constant reminder that order must be actively defended against the ever-present threat of chaos. After decades of grueling warfare, the tide began to turn. Horus, guided by wisdom and supported by powerful allies, started to gain the upper hand. The strategic counsel of Thoth proved invaluable during the divine trials, swaying the court of gods in Horus's favor. The protective spells woven by his mother, Isis, shielded him from Set's deadliest attacks and even allowed her to trick Set into revealing his own weaknesses. Horus learned to anticipate Set's chaotic moves, striking at his uncle's most vulnerable moments and securing a series of small but significant victories. Each triumph was hard-won, but slowly, meticulously, Horus was proving himself the more worthy ruler. Yet, Set was a master of chaos and a cunning adversary. For every step Horus gained, Set retaliated with even greater fury. He was a shapeshifter, transforming into a hippopotamus to capsize Horus's boat or a great black boar to gore his eye. He summoned legions of sand devils and monstrous storms to terrorize the lands loyal to Horus. He even attempted to corrupt the very humans who worshipped his rival, spreading discord and doubt. The war seemed to have no end in sight. For every victory Horus achieved, Set would unleash a new form of chaos, ensuring that the conflict dragged on, a seemingly unbreakable cycle of violence and revenge. The long war finally reached its climax. In a final, cataclysmic confrontation, the two gods met to decide the fate of Egypt once and for all. Horus ascended in his majestic falcon form, his eyes blazing with the light of the sun. From the desert, Set rose to meet him, a monstrous figure of red fury, his voice the roar of a sandstorm. The very ground trembled as they clashed. Rivers flooded their banks, mountains were said to have shattered, and the sky raged with a storm that blotted out the sun. The battle was a whirlwind of divine power, Horus striking with celestial precision, Set countering with raw, untamed force. Each blow echoed through eternity, each maneuver so legendary it was carved into the walls of temples for all time. After this ultimate battle left both gods wounded and exhausted, the divine council, led by Re and Thoth, intervened. They had witnessed 80 years of struggle, 80 years of chaos. It was time for a final verdict. After reviewing all the trials, the battles, and the arguments, the gods made their judgment. They acknowledged Horus as the true and rightful heir of Osiris. His steadfastness, his dedication to justice, and his embodiment of order had proven him worthy of the throne. Set, defeated but not destroyed, was not cast into oblivion. Instead, he was confined to his domain, the Red Desert lands, becoming the god of storms, and the protector of Ra's solar bark as it journeyed through the underworld at night. Chaos was not eliminated, but contained. With the verdict declared, order was finally restored. The Nile's waters flowed peacefully once more, and the land of Egypt began to prosper under a new divine king. The pharaohs, now ruling under the direct protection and legitimacy of Horus, guided their kingdom into a new era of stability. Horus became the ultimate symbol and guardian of kingship, his falcon eye, the Wedjat, a powerful emblem of protection and healing. Set's chaotic energy, though banished to the fringes, remained a potent force, a constant reminder of the eternal struggle required to maintain balance in the world. The 80-year war was over, but its lessons of loyalty, the dangers of unchecked ambition, and the necessity of divine justice would resonate through all of Egyptian history. If you want to explore more epic battles of the gods and uncover the myths that shaped our civilizations, make sure to subscribe to Legendary Myths. Join us as we journey through history, legend, and divine conflict.